Very good morning and welcome back to Pyeong Chang for the second race of the day at the Biathlon World Championships. Fantastic women's pursuit earlier on today, and we're waiting for the start of the men's, and it's going to be like a Norwegian National Championships at the start of that because they were so successful in the men's sprint yesterday. Well, before that, let's catch up on the news of the women's race, racing over 10 kilometers. And, well, a number of names you could choose from for the favourites. And perhaps one of the most unlikely was Helena Jonsson, who's won before, 2 World Cup wins to her name. But today she got absolutely everything right, and she came good at the right time, Mike.
Her strength was under pressure, the final shot, the last 5 shots, those around her, and there were 5 into the range before she came in, missed all the shots. She kept her nerve, and in that wonderful shooting stand technique, she managed to hold it together.
A popular win for Jonsson. Zaitseva, who took the bronze in the sprint, took the bronze again today. Caddy Wilhelm had to drop from gold to silver, but she adds to her collection. It's been a long time since Wilhelm had World Championship success. Falls for many of the big names, including Magdalena Neuner, but Neuner was already out of it at that stage, having missed another 4 targets in the range. So the demons of Antolt still haunting her. Jonsson, though, was on target and on top of the podium. So, great day for the Swedes, and there you see the top 10 positions. Sweden getting their first medal. That's 1 gold for Sweden, 1 for Norway, 1 for Germany so far. Who is going to claim the 4th one? Odds are on that it's going to be Norway. And we'll show you the start of the men's list in a moment once we flick through the order. Bit disappointing for Housefold, Mike. Silver medal right down outside the top 10.
Yes, it was disappointing to see that, but sometimes on a great day as she had the previous day, she missed 8 on this occasion, and that's just far too many, even in those difficult conditions. And she was down outside the top 15.
Well, the daylight has gone, as you can see here in Pyeong Chang, and the men racing under the floodlights for the second day in succession. The downhill catching 1 or 2 of the women out. It was certainly safer than it was yesterday, but still there'll be 1 or 2 men who are a little nervous. Be interesting to see how they approach that fast downhill into the range. Let's look at the results of the sprint, which obviously determine the start positions for today. Bjorn Dahlen started late. There were only 123 in the field. He started 1-2-2, as you can see. The champion from 2 years ago, back on devastating form. He had the advantage of starting late, Mike. He knew what he had to do to beat Lars Berger, who'd come through to claim the top spot early on, but he only just made it.
1.2 second over, what, 24 minutes and 16 seconds of racing. There's nothing in it. Lars Berger, although shot a little faster than Bjorn Dahlen, so Bjorn Dahlen's ski time was as good as it's been all season.
And if Berger had started 1 place behind Bjorn Dahlen and shot the same,
I think he would have got him.
I think he would have won. Yeah. Although it's a big ask. Berger did put in a fabulous last loop yesterday to pull himself up into second position. So look at that. The top 4 positions, all Norwegian. Bjorn Dahlen, Berger, Hannevold, Oss. They will have had some celebration, alcohol-free celebration last night. And the best of the rest was Maxim Shudov of Russia, who started early, put in a good performance. And had Shudov gone late and done the same, then he almost certainly would have been in the medals.
I think so, without a doubt. The temperatures dropping later on, and definitely the best idea yesterday to go in the last group as the temperatures dropped down to 0 degrees.
So Bjorn Dahlen, who has dominated the Pursuit World Championship event over the years, He's back in action, looking to retain the title that he won in 2005. He won it in 2007. He won it in 2008. And he's looking to make it 4 World Championship pursuit titles in succession. He is very much the king of pursuit. He's the king of biathlon. But Poiré was known as the king of the mass start. And Bjorn Dahlen, for some reason, just enjoys this pursuit racing.
He's got that hunting instinct. And even if it goes wrong for him on one of the visits to the range, he'll refocus, regroup, and make sure he gets them the next time.
Well, he always said that the World Championships were his focus for this year, and of course the big focus in his life is the Olympic Games. And here he is saying that the plan for this year was always the World Championships, and he was aiming to be on top form here, which is why he sat out the races in Antolz. He thinks it's always difficult to calculate exactly because obviously your body is changing, and he's going to use the World Championships from this year to set his schedule for the Olympics. And he says there's a little bit of a problem with the time difference. Obviously coming out to Pyeong Chang, we're 8 hours ahead. When he goes to Vancouver, he's going to be 8 hours behind. So he has to know a little bit about the jet lag effect. Well, look at his record in World Championships. He now goes to the top of the table with 11 wins. Frank Luuk and Tikhonov. Frank Luuk getting most of his gold medals from the relay. Take nothing away from him. He was a brilliant performer. Bjorn Dahlen is the out-and-out star now with 11 gold, 10 silver, 9 bronze, and the chances are he'll add to that collection today in the men's pursuit. Well, what do you make of that? At last, he's joined the likes of Tikhonov and Luuk.
Outstanding, and you know, looking at that medal list there, a lot of them came from an earlier age in biathlon. I don't think we're going to see anyone matching. If anyone can in the men's field, it would be Svensson, but it's a huge, huge challenge to try and match those 30 medals.
Well, talking about Svensson, he's not racing today. He didn't race yesterday. He had some strange flu-y sort of symptoms. He said his whole body was aching, and he went out little jog in the morning, as most of these athletes do, but made a very late decision to withdraw. Hence, in comes Lars Berger.
And comes second. The Norwegians can just replace one. And it's an interesting point. I think that had Lars Berger known in advance about that race, he may not have done so well, because he didn't think about it. He just went and managed to take the silver medal.
When we have someone at the top that
well,
really
here
shows
is
how it's
Svensson,
done, you know, and we try to copy him, also Ola, and then it's much more easy for us to see what it really takes. And I have been training a lot with him and learning so much from him this year. So maybe that's one of the reasons why I've become good in such a young age. You know, not all athletes are on the top of the World Cup rankings when they're 23 years old. But maybe I can thank Ola a little bit for that, because I've grown a lot despite my young age.
What has Bjorn Dahlen taught him over the years?
Well, I try to learn everything from him. I try to shoot like him. I try to ski like him. You know, I always watch when he trains and try to stay behind him on the course. You know, when we're training, and it's really a lot to learn. And maybe he can learn something from me as well. That would be awesome.
Well, that's interesting insight into Emil Hegle Svensson, who sadly is not racing today because he sat out yesterday's race. Let's hope that he's recovered in time for the individual on Tuesday. But Svensson at some stage will have to learn to train himself and break away from his respect for Bjorn Dahlen.
Quite amazing, though, that Bjorn Dahlen has shared the precious, all the secrets, the gold that's made him so great. He's giving that away, and he's not frightened to do that. That, for me, makes Bjorn Dahlen an even greater athlete, to share and pass that down the line.
Well, we've got another 4 or 5 minutes before the start of the men's pursuit. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back. Everyone getting ready for the start of the men's pursuit here in Pyeong Chang. The temperature has dropped again, only 1 degree in the last hour or so, but the tracks are firming up. But on the steep climbs, the snow is pretty powdery.
It is. It's become, and it will again become more sugary as the temperatures are dropping down. Significantly, it's the wind, 25 kilometers per hour.
But considering there was so much rain a few days ago, it's surprising that there isn't a bit more moisture in the track, which has held it together. But that's because they've kept it in storage inside. They brought it all out in the emergency conditions the day before yesterday, and hence it is starting to break up a little. Well, what about the tracks, and how do they suit the Norwegians? Here's Svensson again.
What do you say, the course suits you, the track suits you?
Yes, it does, because I think it suits all Norwegians, because we're strong runners, and the uphills are, as I said before, very steep. So for me, it's very good because I've trained a lot in that, and you know, in Norway there are steep steep hills and big mountains, so we are used to that in Norway. So I think, yeah, it's good for us, but of course it will be decided on the shooting range as well. So you have to be on your top of your game all the time.
Well, you certainly do have to be on your top of your game, and I think Bjørndalen admitting that he is only going to win if he shoots well. Yesterday he was a little fortunate with the weather, but Berger would admit that, Hannevold would admit that. Alexander Ost, arguably the best of the Norwegian performances.
Yeah, flying out there on the track, missing one target, 24 seconds behind, and as you say, one of the earlier numbers in the Norwegian quartet.
Well, nice to see a few fans. That is the only thing that is missing here. The 20,000 that we had in Antolz, the 35,000 that turned up in Oberhof. We could do with half of them making the journey out to Korea, just to create a little bit of atmosphere. But there's no doubt that there is tension between the athletes. The atmosphere is there. They're enjoying this. It's a new cultural experience for them. But the fact that there's no natural snow around hasn't detracted from the situation at all.
Not at all, and you know, these athletes are used to challenges, especially this man Bjørndalen, and the time change coming all the way across here from Europe, racing in the evening. It's what, 7 o'clock, 7:15 local time. You're racing at night time. You've got to adapt to all these different changes, and it's only the best that will adapt to it and succeed here. Great to see Lars Berger.
So how is Berger going to do? Of course, the cross-country 15-kilometre world champion still, only for another couple of weeks, but he is that champion. Halvard Hannevold, well, whenever it comes to the majors, this man is in there. He now has 10 medals to his name, and the first of those coming all the way back in 1995, the same as Thomas Sikora, who won the individual back in that year as well. So just a few seconds to go, a few nervous seconds for them to contemplate the tactics. Bjørndalen, Berger, Hannevold, Oss, Schudoff will be the first away. They all go within 30 seconds. Simon Foucault of France goes number 6. France's best hope, arguably, of a medal for the whole championships. He's got to make it count today. Watch out for him. Mickey Grice starts just behind Foucault at number 7, and then Simon Eder, who has transformed his performances in the space of a month, and he starts number 8. He missed one yesterday. Had he hit it, and had he started later, he might have been on the podium. So Bjørndalen looking to make it 4 pursuit world titles in succession. 05, 07, 08. Can he make it 09? He's only got a 1 second lead over Lars Berger. And then there's a 12-second gap before Halvard Hannevold starts, who will love this situation.
He will. He is pretty much solid at the shooting. He can handle the wind, but he's going to have to out-ski himself, really, to try and hold the pace, and that might put his shooting off.
Alexander Oss goes at 25. His form looked to have dropped after Christmas, but he looked very good yesterday. And he is number 4. Maxim Schudoff, the best of the rest. He starts number 5 for Russia, and he started early yesterday. He'll enjoy the faster conditions today, but I wonder how much those conditions took out of him. Simon Foucault of France, psyched up, ready to go, needs to hit 18 or 19 out of the 20 to stand a chance of getting a medal. He is only 50 seconds off the leaders. It could be his day. Mickey Grice, who's always a threat to the leaders.
He is. He used to love this race. He still loves this race, but his confidence, I think, for Mickey Grice has dropped a little, and that's